there was no Mandela effect. It was the Mandala effect. I know they sound the same, but they're not. Sound similar, but it's not the same thing. Mandala, Mandela, close, but different. A mandala means circle. A mandala is a spiritual and ritual symbol used in Hinduism and Buddhism, representing the universe. In common use, mandala has become a generic term for any diagram, chart, or geometric pattern that represents the cosmos, metaphysically or symbolically. Mandalas are sigils. A sigil is a sign, a seal, an identifying mark, an inscribed or painted symbol considered to have magical power. A sigil is a symbol used in magic. The term usually refers to a type of pictorial signature of a demon or other entity. The way it's used now, especially in chaos magic, it refers to the symbolic representation of a magician's desired outcome. During medieval ceremonial magic, the term sigil was commonly used to refer to occult signs that represented various angels and demons that the magician might summon. Angels and demons. Angels and demons are just hidden angles of light, or the unseen aspects of self. Nothing spooky about that. A common method of creating sigils of certain spirits which spirits are just energies, but a common method of creating sigils of certain spirits was to use magic squares. A magic square, or kami, is a representation of spiritual forces in a mathematical format. The names of the spirits were converted to numbers that were then located on the magic square. Then the locations are connected by lines forming an abstract figure. This is like the connect the dot puzzles, when you connect the dots to make a picture and color it. Those puzzles are usually geared towards children. Yeah, they like to get them while they're young. They use sigils to program your consciousness and dictate your actions. Sigils are all around you. Some are more complex than others. Some are more obvious than others. Religious symbols are sigils. Advertisement logos are sigils. Letters are sigils. Words are compound sigils. Letter sigils are used to create grammar spells. Grammar spells are spells of illusion. Spelling words are the compound sigils used to create the spell of illusions. Sigils program the subconscious mind. This is why people say words have power. Numbers are sigils. Mathematics are formulated sigils. Numerology is reading numeric symbolism by interpreting number sigils. Sigils are symbols used to program the subconscious mind. The subconscious mind is where creation takes place. Shapes are sigils. Television pixels are sigils. Television pixels are small, colorful, shaped sigils that form larger shaped images. So, the images you see on television are sigils. The writers write the sigils, the producers produce the sigils, and the directors direct the scripted images they've casted. Now you have sound, shape, and color all speaking to the subconscious mind at once, leaving the unaware mind spell-struck or pixelated. Pixelation is bewilderment or a state of confusion. purpose of television programming is to distract the conscious mind in order to infiltrate the subconscious mind. The result is artificial reality. Life imitating art, or should I say, life imitating the artificial. Music is also used as a mind control mechanism. Music notes are sigils. Music makes sound, and sound is vibration. Vibration is a creative force. The root word in music is muse. Muse means to think. The purpose of music is to inspire thought. Thought is a creative force. Music can be used as a tool to inspire low vibrational thought or high vibrational thought. The chorus is the mantra. That's what gets you hooked. The instrument, the beat, the rhythm, that's vibration. The hook determines the frequency of the vibration. When you play music, it makes a sound. When you speak letters and numbers, they make sounds. Sounds are vibrations. Vibrations give life. Vibration creates energy. Spirits are energy. Energy is spirit. These energies can work for your benefit or against it. These energies aren't good or evil. It's your intent that creates their purpose. Your intent creates their purpose, not the other way around. Television uses color and sound to do the same thing. What are they doing? They're programming your subconscious mind, creating mindless minions. I say that, but I say this. It doesn't apply to everybody. If you're really woke, it won't happen to you. And when I say woke, I'm talking about the awakening of the soul, the opening of the inner eye. Not that synthetic shit you hear everybody talking about or claiming to be. I'm talking about clear inner vision, true consciousness and awareness of the world around you and the world you create. Realizing you are the builder and destroyer of your realities and illusions. Lack of insight leaves the subconscious mind unguarded. There's no eye open to keep watch. There's no inner sight. This leaves you more vulnerable to sigil magic and the spells being casted. Because again, sigils are all around you. Movies are sigil magic. Books are sigil magic. Movies and books are shapes and colors and symbols created with the intent to impact and influence the subconscious mind. That's why the Mandela effect only pertains to movies, books, and advertisement logos. Now, the reason they call it the Mandela effect is bullshit. It's fabricated. It's a socially engineered mind trick. That's what that is. You have a group of non-Africans at a social gathering who for some reason are having a discussion about a South African named Nelson Mandela. They were confused about him dying in prison or him becoming president of South Africa. Some say they were taught in school and heard on the news that he died in prison. And some say they were taught and heard he was released from prison and became president of South Africa. Okay. Spike Lee made a film called Malcolm X. That film was released in 1992. At the end of that film is Nelson Mandela saying, "I am Malcolm X." And he wasn't saying it from the grave. It's not the Mandela effect. It's the Mandala effect. Mandalas are colorful image-forming shapes and patterns used in meditation as a focal point to tap into the subconscious. It's a sigil. They use the Mandala effect on people as a form of mind control. If you don't know what a mandala is, look it up. The Mandala effect is a quantum illusion. It only affects how people recall movies, books, and advertisement logos. As far as the recollection of Nelson Mandela, the confusion is a result of a cultural disconnect. Obviously, the people having that conversation were disconnected from South African culture. I'm sure South Africans weren't confused about Nelson Mandela's legacy. Now, the thing is, with the Mandela effect, it's not something mysterious about it. It's not something that was a phenomenon that took place. It's not what they told you it was or what it may be. That was all a facade. It's all an illusion. That's not really what it is. But to make it seem like it's some type of mystery, I mean, come on. You could have just used basic methods to figure it out, whatever this so-called discrepancy may have been. Ask Tom Hanks what he said in Forrest Gump. Why don't they ask James Earl Jones what he said in Star Wars? Whatever questions or concerns about Back to the Future, ask Michael J. Fox. As far as the books, the Bernstein, ask the creators of that book what the original spelling was. Ask the creators of Fruit Loops what the original spelling was. But regardless of what it was or what it wasn't, it really doesn't matter, because none of that is really of any importance or has any true meaning to what's going on in your life. None of that immediately affects you. That's all things outside of you that don't directly pertain to you. Those are all things that are based on an illusion. Those are all things that are synthetic. They're programs. They're manufactured. There's nothing original or authentic about those things. They're things that have been presented to you through a screen, through digital imaging, synthetic audio, synthetic visual. And as far as books being printed, published, the spelling, incorrect spellings, things change over time. Some things stay the same. But regardless of if something was spelled one way or another, how does that directly affect your life? What does it really matter to you? What does that have to do with your reality, unless you're basing your reality off of man-made things or things that are presented to you by outside forces? Things that are presented to you as forms of entertainment, distractions. Things that are designed to keep you dumb, deaf, and blind in a state of confusion. Focusing on things that aren't real. Now, was anybody taught in school that the Holocaust didn't happen? Was anybody taught in school that the slave trade never happened? Was anybody taught in school that the Revolutionary War never took place? Do people have different recollections of those events? Either way, school is a social engineering tool. You might have been taught both. They might teach you the opposite of what they teach them. If this is done far enough in advance, you could psych people into believing that they are living alternate realities, when in actuality, the history of their reality has been written, programmed, and uploaded into their psyche during the early phases of their physical existence. First thing they introduce children to are animated toys, cartoons, and books. These are all forms of advanced sigil magic. These are the tools used in the early stages of the Mandala effect. They like to get them while they're young. Remember that. Unknowingly, parents initiate social engineering, and then the school system reinforces it. It's a continuous cycle. If the program is effective, the children will have children and input that program into their children. And the cycle will continue until the cycle is broken. Now ask yourself, are you the one that will break the cycle? Does the cycle stop with you, or will it continue to go on?